I'm all in.
That's it.
So you're always all in.
You're
It's
always.
just,
People, Here's the thing. People don't know what the definition of all in is.
Yeah.
They don't know what the definition of all in is. All right. They just. I beat the sun up. I worked hard. Okay. I stayed up late. I got to the point where, like, when did sleep deprivation become a key thing to success? I've never understood that. Everybody tells you how important it is to rest and recover and so forth, and they think if you constantly work, like you said earlier, if you're constantly working 18 hours, are you really performing? Are you really performing at your best? Are you really all in?
I'm a Lakers fan. Did Kobe really not sleep?
No, listen, he took.
There was the rumors he's like sleep 3 hours or 4 hours.
No, Kobe took naps. Kobe took naps. There were nights that he didn't sleep. All right, he would watch, obsess over film and so forth. But you can't function at that level for that long of a time where you're sleep deprived of yourself. We've all had to do it.
Yeah. But it's not normal.
It's just not. It's not. When people only take that one story and make it as part of a whole person's career.
Yeah.
And
Kobe's probably like that people thought that.
Yeah. It's just like, he goes, all right, then they are. Well, if he's only sleeping 3 hours and I should be only. But what works for one person doesn't work for the other.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
So you gotta find what's you gotta put your ingredients together. You gotta put your recipe together to see, hey, this is what success is going to work for me. Just like from a nutrition standpoint. Every diet book out there works. Every nutrition plan out there works if you do it. But you got to find the one that's going to work. That's going to work for you. That is going to work for you. There's a winning plan out there that you have to design. You have to take something from this individual, something from this individual, something from this individual, all this, and then mix it up into your recipe and say, hey, this is my formula of winning. Not take Ryan Pineda's formula and try to throw it in with Tim Grover's and try to throw it in with Joe Rogan's and then try to throw it in with this person and this person and this person. It doesn't work. It's like individuals that claim to be experts at everything. They claim to be experts at relationships and making money and entrepreneurs and sales and all this other stuff. I was like, you can't. You just can't. You can be knowledgeable in those things, but you can't be an expert in all those things.
Yeah, you can be above average.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about a concept a lot as we're talking, and it's kind of the concept of having urgency, which I know you've talked about in the books, but also understanding it's the long game. Like it's just repeating the same things over and over, day in and day out, and not letting one bad day turn into 2 or 3 or 4. Those are the people do. They're just like, oh, I had a bad day, and then it just becomes the routine. And like I've just seen it time and time again of like a skill takes a long time to develop. There's just no way to really fast track it.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody in this room has a routine. Yeah. Everyone has a routine. But what happens is,
like I said, we're gonna hit legs today. Warm up
There's nothing you can do
first.
to do it.
you just set the example every single day. But the thing is, you can't come down to their level.
Right.
What you try to do is you try to get them to elevate as close to your level as you can. If there's a little bit of improvement in there, you're like, hey, I've done something with that individual. But within that time, even MJ, he passed the ball, let John Paxson take the shot. He let Steve Kerr take the shot. He let these individuals help him out. But that was earned during the practices over and over and over and over again. You don't have to be the best player to be the most accountable in the pressure situations.
You just gotta have the respect of the leader.
And you have to earn that respect. People always say, well, you gotta respect me. Well, you give me something to respect. I will respect you.
Yeah.
And respect is so much more difficult now because it's so easy to be something you're not.
How much do you think having, you went from Jordan and training him for many years to then you transition to Kobe, and obviously you're much wiser, you have way more perspective at this point, having made all the mistakes with Jordan. And so it's like Kobe, you go into it with this whole new perspective. And like, I was actually, I know you were on The Last Dance, but I really liked that documentary. I think it was Redeemed.
Redeemed, sure.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Kobe was such a big deal in that, of like coming into, like, whip those guys into shape. And just coming in from his perspective of like, dude, you guys have never watched it. You don't even know what hard work is. You guys are going to the club and all this crap. Like, this is what it is.
We were the ones that started the 4:30 workout, the 5 a.m., all this other stuff where the other players started to join. We did that massive bike ride in the sun when he goes, I want to go out when it's the hottest. Because his perspective of winning, because he won over and over again, it's completely different than somebody else's. But then now other people start to see what he's doing. They start to, and they're like, okay,
I'm gonna
if
do
we
it
don't
right
level up now, we may not get to, we're not going to get to 2-4's level, but he's telling us we could all do a hell of a lot better, because if we don't, he's literally going, Kobe will, you know, one of the greatest things that I said, he goes, when I go out and play, my job was for you to make you consider your life choice. I want you to change your decision. You made the wrong choice being
That's
a
why.
professional basketball player.
Yeah.
And he did that to his own teammates in practice every single day. But you have to earn the right to be able to do that. People want to treat them. People want to put this pressure on their employees.
That's
People
up
want
there.
to
How much is it gonna do the first try? I command it.
to be able to speak to them in that way. And not,
Let's buy a Rambo.
You have track record.
and not everybody can speak to individuals that way. Not everybody can speak the language Ryan speaks. Not everybody can speak the language Grover speaks. It's different. You have to earn. But I'd rather be authentic in the way I communicate to an individual than to be a fraud.
Yeah. I don't know how to communicate in like
No,
a.
end the video.
Bill, you entered a very risky space for an event.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very, very risky game. He's like, you didn't do one. You stacked it. You stacked
Way.
some along the way, and you continue to do it on like a quarterly basis or whatever you're doing. And with each event, everyone else has got to level up. And if they're not leveling up, so this is not the case for you, and that's all right.
Yeah. And we've lost people along the way. If they don't want to, or whatever.
No problem.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with that.
One of our, it's funny, one of our students, and by the way, guys, Tim is going to be speaking at WellCon, so wellcon.org, this is going to be an epic event. Once again, we're trying to level up. It should be our biggest and best ever. We're going for 2,000 attendees at Caesars, which nobody really does, like every 90 days, to just do it that frequently with no marketing, it's just boom, blitz. But he goes, hey, it's crazy. Like, I'm just shocked that every time I come to one, it's better. You got better in some aspect, whether it was the registration, whether it's the transitions from speaker, just like the little details. And I was like, well, literally after every event, I'll write down 30 things that I'm like, I did not like that little thing. I thought that video was too long. I thought that the seating could have been arranged a little better.
I have to retry it.
I think so. The two teams, they're paying attention to all the details. Even the teams, we're not staying at the strip. This is where we're going to see. This is where the practice facility. This is what's going to happen. You have to pay attention. The one detail you skip may cost you. And the detail, like the other people come, man, your speakers are awesome. This is thing. And somebody might say, you know what? The registration was poor, and that totally turned them off from everything else. Their initial, it's like when you walk into a restaurant, the person that greets you at the restaurant. Well, if that person's got a bad attitude, then you already have, this food's going to be bad. So it's not going to be the person is like
every little detail matters.
Every little detail matters. It really, and I paid attention to details that other people just thought were just irrelevant.
Yeah.
That were just irrelevant.
Well, when you come from the world where literally everything is a millimeter or a split second between the difference of success and failure, you realize how important footwork is, timing, all of those things.
Well, throwing an event is no different than a dance.
Yeah.
All right. It's no different. It's no different than knowing the proper footwork.
Yeah. The sequence. Okay, what speaker's going here after this person and that?
Yes, the different lighting. Make sure everybody's on pay. Hey, register. Make sure you're in your seats on time. This is what's going to happen. This is what time the doors are going to open, and so forth. And then then you get to see. Then you put your staff and your individuals with each event that you've done and everything you do. You get to see how they perform under pressure.
Yeah.
Because with each event, there's a little bit more pressure. There's a little bit more pressure. There's a little bit more. There's a little bit more. But here's the thing: if you don't come in and treat every day as game day, you'll never be ready for game day.
Yeah.
You'll be never, when the most intentional individuals, every practice, Michael always said, I practice so hard so the games are easy. I practice so hard so the games are easy. So when you come in here, this is your practice stage. So when you're communicating to individuals on the phone and you're selling them a ticket, you're telling them how beneficial this event is, that's game day.
Yeah.
That's game. So then when you show up at the event is going to be easy.
Yes.
It's going
All the hard work's
to be
not
easy.
late and I was at his cap.
Okay.
Not a problem. We got this.
Yeah.
But those are your pressure people. And, I would say pressure's a privilege. Pressure defines who we are and who we are not, but also defines who we can become.
Yeah.
So when you tell individuals, hey, I want 2,000 people at this event. I want 2,000 people at this event. Well, guess what? That's telling you the people that are responsible for getting those people in the seats.
Yeah.
It's going to tell you who they are and who they're not.
It's a lot of pressure.
And what they can become. But you know what?
Yeah.
Pressure that means you believe in them. Do you believe in yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in yourself? It's funny. You're sitting in Vegas here, and where before all the other places were allowing gambling, this was the only place that you could gamble in. Well, it's funny. People will put a bet on somebody else to deliver them an outcome, but they won't bet on themselves anymore.
Yeah.
But that's what pressure is.
Or lazy.
You know,
People will be like, oh, you just do it for me, I'll pay more, versus, them doing it themselves. But, I got a question now, because you've been through a lot now. How old are you now?
I'm 59.
59. And so I guess as you get older, you just keep getting more and more perspective. And you get to see now with hindsight how things played out. And so I'm curious if, from your perspective, okay, a guy like MJ, obviously the GOAT, and this dude accomplished everything you could imagine on the court, with brand, with, he just flipped his NBA team, made a boatload of money. This dude has had tons of business and fame success. And then, kind of when I look at him now, I'm like, I wonder if it was actually worth it, because, I see him, he golfs a lot and he's competing in that way. And I don't know him, you know him way better than me. So this is just my uninformed perception of what it looks like. And I'm like, man, he doesn't look like his health is that great, just looking at things. And I know guys who have golfed with him, I'm like, man, he seems like he's drinking a lot. He seems like, I know he went through a divorce, and I'm like, these were all the cost of achieving all that he achieved. And I'm like, was it worth it now that you have hindsight and age to
I can't speak on it. I can't speak on that.
Yeah.
Only he can.
Yeah.
He's the only individual that can
100,
speak on, because
50
his
weighted,
definition of winning may be
50 no.
And now I fully get to see the price, because
Yes.
you don't see it when it happens. You're like, oh, bro, we just did it. This is great, And people notice it with health more than anything, right? Because, dude, when you're young, we can eat what we want, we can get away with so much, and then later on in life, you're like, wow, that finally...
It's going to catch you. It's going to get... Well, listen, for people that work out, I say you pay the price if you don't work out, and then you pay the price when you work out. Because if you constantly work out, later on in life, shoulders, knees, something's always going to be a little bit out of whack. It just is. But no matter what that price is, I always say this: if you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill for regret. Okay, and that bill is generational. That bill is generational, and a lot of individuals are passing that bill on from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next. There may be some individuals in this building where that bill was passed on to them.
Yeah, there's a quote from MJ that I always use in my presentations. I don't know if I'll have time to pull it up, but essentially it's that concept of, he's like, I can accept trying and failing. What I cannot accept is just not trying at all, and just living with the regret of not knowing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's what I just said. I mean, so you're gonna pay the price. I'd rather pay the price of this and then I regret, you know what, man, I should have done this. I could have done that.
How does somebody get over that? I mean, it's just simply fear.
Yeah. Well, it's to me, it's more, it's a lot of depth. Fear and pressure go together.
Okay.
All right. I said, if you put pressure is telling you need to face this fear and do it. You need to be able to take this last shot. You need to make those extra phone calls. You need to do these things. Doubt is something we create. You never get over doubt, because doubt is something. Fear to me is an instinct. Doubt is something that's manifested, that you create yourself. You could be sitting here and you'd be like, man, I could have been a really, really good podcaster. I could have been really, really good at throwing events. So you kept doubting yourself. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. And then later on, you're just like, man, I should have done this. I should have done this. Now, you look at somebody's physical health. Well, how detrimental is that to a person's mental health? Carrying that weight around with yourself the rest of your life also. There's the weight of not being healthy physically, but that mental weight can be, I use this example. If you carry you wear a backpack, and a backpack weighs 5 pounds, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and you never take that backpack off. In a week, it's no longer the same weight. It's heavier. In a month, it's heavier. In a year, it's heavier. How much baggage are you carrying from regret throughout the years? Just weigh you down, weigh you down, weigh you down.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is my third video. Actually, I already recording this shit because first of all, my TV cut off, like the fucking HDMI cable didn't work, but whatever, I fixed it. So what I'm gonna go over the trade that I mentioned earlier in the drive talk, that I said I was gonna go over my trade of today. So I took GBP USD shorts at 26,670, and we're currently up that. We're currently up. You can see in GBPUSD. Stop loss is at break even. Take profit is 25,400. Nice ass entry. And going. The $40 account challenge take to all the way to like 150 maybe, and then deposit that into a funded account. Look at this shit is rolling all the way to target. 40 pips. But the reason we got into the trade was, and we head into the 4 hour, you can see the strong ass supply over here. So where we previous had supply, let me look and let me get the arrow. So where we previous had strong supply, that gave us a strong ass drop to the bottom side. Look, price tested it, rejected it right at 26,700 and melted right below. And obviously you gotta zoom in, right, to see if price is really gonna melt and reject or break above and retest to continue bullish, right? So my entry was based off the 30-minute. We hop into the 30-minute. Price bearish engulfed. This is when I entered. Look, right, I entered at this, and then it created a lower high. I could have popped another entry, but I just left my original entry run, and boom, this is where I secured 30 pips, and price still currently up 40 pips, which I will continue to hold, most likely till we hit for at least this low right here, this low that gave us a strong ass push. Maybe here we'll have maybe somewhat of a strong retracement, depending on what price it gives us. We still got a nice 50 push, right? So even if you watch this video right after, you could probably maybe even still sell a GU. Another pair that I'll be looking at is USD CAD, but USD CAD already left without me. Fuck, USD CAD already dipped. Look at this shit. I had a buy, not a buy stop. So I had a limit and it activated, but I missed the entry. Look at this shit. I even had it marked up. The video cut off, but look at this shit. Literally, USD CAD literally flew. Not melted. What am I saying? Flew for 70 pips today. And this is where it was in the morning. Look at this shit. This is where it was at 7 a.m. Literally New York session. 100 pips in 90 pips in one day. Wild. Absolutely insane. But I mean, it makes sense because obviously I want to sell GU, and USD CAD is obviously the dollar is the main currency pair of USD CAD. As in GBP USD selling, it makes sense that USD CAD is going to be buying. Most likely USD JPY is going to be buying. Look at this. But I don't see an entry. Maybe actually, yeah, because we're in the Asian session right now, so we might even pop an entry for. Maybe we could break above this supply zone instead of rejecting it. This could happen. Yeah, I guess that, but not really. This I wanted it to look like this, right? I didn't try to put this, but depends at what price it does at this zone right now at 151,300. If price rejects it, we'll more sells, and this will be our target. If price breaks above it and retest it, then we're most likely gonna continue all the way to 152. So this is actually a good trade to look out for right now. Like we're in session, and then to look at GJ before I leave. Oh, fucking GJ respected this beautiful wick. Look at this shit. As soon as I seen it, look at this strong ass supply gave us this drop. What was the drop size? It was 200. It was 187 pips. Look at prices already melting. This was today. 130 pips. This was today. Look at this shit. April 4, 24. This shit was at 11, bro. At 11, New York session. Why the fuck is JPY moving a New York session? But guess what? Next trade is gonna be right here. Why? Because we have not. This is a strong supply. Strong demand. Right? Gave us 200 pips to the upside. So when price gets to the zone, guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna give us at least half of that, or we're gonna break below and continue to the downside. That is it. That is all we could do. So now we must wait. So I'm actually gonna set an alert. Possible trade around this area. ¿No se puso? There we go. Possible trade around this zone. So those are the possible outcomes, and obviously GBP USD, we're gonna continue to sell it, right? Beautiful. Look at this shit. And we're gonna hop on some chess right now after I read a couple pages of the book that I'm supposed to be reading. So peace and love to everybody, anybody watching this. I command you health, I command you wealth, I command you wisdom, and I command you don't stop. You don't stop whatever you want to achieve. Literally anything you put your mind to, and you put the power of belief, and you just don't stop, you can achieve it. Peace and love.